Brought to you by Helene Curtis, makers of Stop F deodorants. Flowing cream, spray, and stick. Suave hairdressing, and shampoo plus egg. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you. I would like to explain that the reason we're not all walking in tonight is because I can't stay in that position due to the fact that I was vaulting some railings thinking I was only 16, but it turned out I am not 16, and my Achilles heel was found, and I just couldn't walk on tonight. And so I was carried on, and so were the rest of the panel. And so to my left, the first gentleman that you're going to meet, always a witty, amusing man that you will absolutely roar at in his new picture, The Mad Ball.
Crazy.
That is you, Ernie Kovacs.
And now to my left, an even more serious case. The lady who broke one of my cigars.
And on my left are a panelist who publishes the book out of which John Daly gets all of his long words, the American College Dictionary. And he gets a few, too. Bennett Cerf.
On my left is the juvenile member of this troupe, the only one who was able to hobble out here under his own steam tonight, our panel moderator, John Charles Davis.
Gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. And because we want to get sweet Arlene's mind off her busted ankle, we're going to depart from some of our usual practices. Panel, please put on your masks. We'll have some interesting occupations, needless to say. This should be the mark of an interesting evening. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger in just 1 minute. And now, for the usual good and sufficient reasons, we've asked you to blindfold yourselves, panel. Are the blindfolds all in place?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's meet our first contestant. Will you come in and sign in, please? All right, I wonder, are you familiar with our scoring system? If you're familiar with our scoring system, let's let the people at home and our friends here in the theater know exactly what your line is. Now, needless to say, panel, you have been asked to blindfold yourselves because there is an area of identification here of which we had reason to have some fears. So let's just leave it that our guest is salaried, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Do you work for a profit-making organization? Was that a yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Has your face appeared in the papers in the last 6 months?
Yes.
Small picture. Would you be in any area of show business? Are you a performer? Do you appear in the theater at all? Would you be considered an actress? Somebody just fell down.
Actually, Arlene, we would have to agree that our guest is an actress. Needless to say, you've all, I'm quite sure, come to realize that we have a rather special area of identification here, so that we'll go on with the fact known that our guest is an actress, yes.
Are you performing at the present time in a New York theater?
Yes?
Since there seemed to be some area of, not doubt that you were an actress, but that the acting might be in a broader sense, might you appear perhaps in nightclubs?
Yes?
Do you sing?
Yes.
Not like that, I hope.
Are you at the present time singing in a nightclub?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Kovacs.
I saw something in the newspapers not too long ago. You're not that little 32-inch alligator that was found in the backyard in Westport, are you? No. You are currently on the stage.
Yes.
In a show that is currently in New York.
Heavens, yes.
Would you repeat that inflection?
Yes.
I smell not only a certain perfume, but a certain inflection. This isn't my... You aren't my wife, are you?
Edie Adams, Mrs. Ernie Kovacs.
I'll never wear perfume on television again.
No, I was kidding about the perfume, but that heavens no or heavens yes, whatever it was. Why aren't you home with the dishes? I bet the house will be a mess when we get back.
What was it, Ernie? Is that phrase spoken as Edie speaks in Little Abner, which is...
No, it's when you're married, John, to a woman for a number of years, there are many little things that become near and dear to you.
I tried the comb and everything. I thought you knew every voice that I had, and I tried a new voice. And
Well, you were very good because until John repeated actress, I thought it was a man. We could have ruined the program and the marriage and everything.
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
For me, I thought that was John Daly's perfume.
Oh.
Miss Adams, I would like to add that there is no area of doubt about your being an actress. You are, and a wonderfully good one, too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Edie. Well, I'm afraid we didn't fool you very long with that, in spite of all of our careful plans and efforts, but perhaps we can do more damage this time. Will our next contestant come in and sign in, please? S. Howard Collins, is that right? What does the S stand for?
Seraphine.
Seraphine. And is it Miss or Mrs. Howard Collins?
It is Miss.
Miss Howard Collins. Miss Howard Collins. What do we do, actually? This is something you'll have to instruct us. Are you known as Miss Collins or Miss Howard
Oh,
Collins?
just Miss Collins.
Miss Collins.
Yes.
Miss Collins, the panel. And now will you come over here and join me? Where are you from, by the way?
London.
From London. Oh, it's nice to have you with us. I wonder if you're familiar with the way we keep score, are you?
Well, I've seen the show once before.
Oh, well, fine. It's very easy, actually. You give them a good resounding no, and I'll flip a card, 10 flips, and you've won the game. All righty, now let's let the folks at home and our friends here in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel. Miss Collins is self-employed, and let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss Collins is a very famous Collins family in London in the publishing business. Have you got anything whatever to do with the world of books?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Miss Collins, do people come to you for your services?
Yes.
Do you represent... Oh, no, you're self-employed, aren't you?
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. Is there any product whatsoever connected with what you do?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Yes, it has various
Uses?
aspects. You'd say that in some circumstances the general product could be quite useful. In other circumstances, you might not consider that use factors were the predominant ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
Well,
put.
that was a help, John.
Well, I want to do everything I can for that busted ankle of yours.
Can one hold the product in one's hand?
Yes.
Wait a minute. No, I'm afraid we can't do that, Arlie.
Even if you're as strong as I am?
Even if you're as strong as you are. $2.08 to go, Mr. Kovacs.
Is this something that's bigger than a BB gun?
Yes.
Yes. This may seem ambiguous, but there is something behind it. Would you say this is bigger than the young boy who is tall for his age? I just did that for you, Arlene, for John. You know that.
I want to know what was behind it.
It is big. Is this something that that people come to you to have you take this product and do things to them or for them?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's hear that again.
Oh, she got it, John. It's all right.
Do things to them or for them
Yes.
with the product?
Yes.
To them or for them.
It's a bit difficult, isn't it?
You have a choice.
Yeah, let's
you will
give them a
admit.
no anyway. That makes it $3.07 to go, Miss Kilgallen. I don't think we can say, Ernie, in the context of the question, that an affirmative answer would be meet and inequity. Miss Kilgallen.
At least.
Is this product solid rather than liquid? Is it something you couldn't buy in a grocery store?
Oh, definitely.
Would you say that it was not apparel of any kind? Could you put anything into it?
Yes, I would think you could put something into it if you...
Is it meant to have something put into it?
I beg your pardon?
Is it meant to have something put into it? Is it designed to have something put into it?
Well, let us say that all of the apparatus or the availabilities necessary to put something into it are there.
Could anyone in the panel get into it?
No, $4.06 to go, Mr. Sir.
Miss Collins, was this product ever alive?
Oh, yes. What a horrible thought.
Is the product alive when you deal with it?
It is, yes.
Is it some kind of an animal?
Yes.
Is it an animal that would not be considered a domestic animal?
No.
Well, now, actually,
Well, now,
here,
we
I
know
think
it
Bennett
is.
may have a special connotation. What is your connotation of a domestic animal?
An animal that would be found ordinarily around a farm.
In other words, you would consider an animal ordinarily found around the farm as a domestic
That's
animal.
right.
And you would not...
Well, I mean useful around the farm, not a snake or something that might just happen to crawl around the farm.
You're doing great, Bennett. That's 5 down and 5 to go. Miss Francis, this is a domestic animal.
Is it a furry animal?
Yes.
Now, there again, we are going to have trouble. Let's
I don't
see.
mean furry, but fuzzy.
Fuzzy! Oh! You mean fuzzy, was it?
I mean, it was a little fuzzy.
A little fuzzy. You're a little fuzzy,
If you-
actually, Ronald. No, I don't think. I think here again.
No fuzz.
Oh, no, well, no, not exactly fuzz. I'm awfully sorry. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go. We wouldn't be able to describe it to you, even though Miss Collins is willing to be generous as a furred animal, because it would mislead you, you know? Mr.
I don't
Kovacs.
think it would. You could let me ask another question. Go ahead, I can.
Me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I give $1,000 to be home. Do you have more than one of these?
Yes.
Might a group of them be called the flock?
Oh, no.
No, it's 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is this something bigger than a pig? Oh, yes, it is. Does it have what you might call a hide or hair, if not fur? Yes. It has 4 legs? Yes.
A flock of tigers?
Does it have any horns?
Horns?
Horns. I don't think it
No
does.
horns.
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Collins, is this any member of the horse family?
Yes.
You have something to do with horses,
Yes.
Yes.
and we have to find out what it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you train horses and...
No.
No.
Race them.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you break horses?
No.
10 down and no more to go, and Miss
You like
Collins
horses?
buys and sells racehorses. Actually, Miss
Right on
Collins...
point here. Would you call a racehorse a domestic animal?
Well, actually, we gave you the right to make the basic definition. If you'd find it around a farm, yes. They call areas that are devoted to raising horses horse farms, for instance. They're domesticated, tamed. Strictly speaking, domesticated mean fully under the supervision and control of a human being, which they are. My reference was, I thought perhaps you meant inside the house kind, and I haven't had a racehorse in the house as a pet for a long time. What? Miss Collins, we stuck the panel, and thank you very much. It was wonderful of you to be our guest, and nice to have you visiting us from England. Good night. And would you take We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which I've asked my friends on the panel once again to blindfold themselves. Blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You'll ask one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin it all with Ernie Kovacs.
Thank you, John. Are you in the entertainment business?
Yes.
Miss Kilgallen?
I thought for a minute it might be Edie back again in a bathing suit.
Jane Mansfield back.
Are you an actress? Rather.
Mr. Cerf?
Are you a motion picture star?
Rather.
Miss Francis?
Are you here in New York to publicize a particular picture?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Thank you. Mr. Kovacs?
Do you live near Marlon Brando?
Heavens, no.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Have you ever appeared on the stage? No, I don't believe.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Are you... John will have to answer this. Are you young and beautiful?
Yes, sir.
No.
The yes will stand. Miss Francis?
Are you a brunette?
Sometimes.
It's true of so many of us.
Are you a brunette tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Kilgallen?
Is the picture that you're here to publicize opening next week? No.
Mr. Cerf, that's 3 down and 7 to go.
Are you married to somebody who is well known to...
To what?
to the general public? I meant two,
yes,
T-double.
yes, I do believe so.
Miss Francis?
Are you under contract to a studio rather than freelancing?
No.
That
No?
makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Kovacs.
I don't mean to say this because I work there, but seriously, is this a Columbia picture?
I beg your pardon.
Pardon?
I beg your pardon.
I could give one more pardon and still be honest with it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Is the picture that you are in a Columbia picture?
No, as a matter of fact.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Were you born in the United States of America? Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Going back to this well-known husband of yours, is he also in the entertainment business?
You mean as a performer, Bennett, or in any other way?
Oh, were there other ways? No, I mean in any other way.
happened?
I only hear sing.
Has everybody gone home?
It's very difficult.
Actually, Bennett, we're a little afraid of misleading you here.
Well, let me put it another way. I'm changing the question, frankly, because of the way you answered, John. Is he famous in something other than show business?
Yes.
Miss Francis.
Have you been on the road quite often with a couple of very important male stars? In the nicest sense of the word, that is.
Yes.
Oh, now you've done it.
I've torn it.
Yes, you've done it. You've done it. And I'm going to sound like an idiot now for you, Arlene. You're one of two people. This I know.
You're either Bing Crosby or Bob Hope.
Yes, yes. You are famous for wrapping something around you while you did these two things, did these things on the road with these two gentlemen?
Wrong.
No.
What?
That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Oh!
It isn't. No, it's the other one.
It's the other one.
Yes.
I passed. They just lost me on the
Would
road.
this husband of yours be famous because he was a very wonderful football player?
Yes.
Yes.
I may kill you.
Nevertheless, it's Miss Jane Russell.
Miss Jane. May I ask Ernie a question, because I think Miss Jane would like to have the answer. What did living near Marlon Brando have to do with it?
Her voice. I couldn't understand her.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
I knew I couldn't fool Bennett.
Well, actually, you fooled them all for quite a long while.
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
When is Fuzzy Pink Night going to open?
It's like in September
Oh, it's
sometime,
like
John.
September.
There's
It's
no
not next
set
week.
time. No.
That's the thing I think that threw
That
them
didn't
off.
throw you, did it, Roy?
No.
That wasn't it.
And I think we ought to. I'm sorry, Arlene. I think we ought to identify the famous football player. You being Mrs. Bob Waterfield. Mr.
Right.
Bob Waterfield is the husband who won a very great reputation as a football player.
What I really want to know is who wrapped what around them on the road?
Dorothy Lamour with a sarong. You see, I don't mean to say this with her broken foot and everything, but I was off on another thing until we had the road business brought in, and then I went to Dorothy with her sarong.
He might say Ernie has never been so wrong.
And now, at least Bennett has given me a reason to wear perfume or cologne or something. George, I'll start doing it if you keep that up, Bennett. Promise you. Well, Miss Jane, I do thank you very much. It's a long time since we have carried the panel this far.
Oh, I'm very happy. I thought they'd get it in a minute. I thought it was an entire mistake.
Actually, it was worth watching Jane's face, because when we really started, you could see she was afraid somebody's going to get it. Get up to 5, and she began to beam. So she had you all on the hook. Well, we wish Fuzzy Pink Nightgown a lot of success, and there's a special reason, because this is a picture you produced as well as starred in.
That's right.
And we hope it's a very
Robert
big success.
Waterfield now is in the business, you see.
That was the problem we had with you, Bennett, because you
He
see,
is in picture
Yeah.
business.
Bob is associated with Miss Jane in producing the picture, so he had an... Well, anyway, we
Yes,
jumped the
there we
question.
go. You
Thanks
see.
very much
Thanks,
for being
John.
our guest, and will you say
Bye.
good night to the public?